saw Dame sitting up there, was he able to go for you today?
Yeah, he looked good.
Okay, and he was able to do everything. Okay, AJ Green.
Most things. Yeah. So that's a upgrade from what we thought. That's good.
Yeah, and then where is Giannis at today?
He was in the gym. Walked through stuff, but didn't do anything live.
So. Yesterday on a local radio show, Peter Fagan said he will definitely be out for
yeah.
Is that accurate?
I don't know yet. No. We're still hoping. He hadn't done anything. So would we throw him out there? Yeah, we would. But for us, it's still, we're not sure.
Going back to AJ, I know it's just 15 minutes, but he has been important for you since.
He really has been, yeah.
So if he's or can't go, like how do you? I know Bees has been shifted to second unit.
Yeah,
there really isn't like a 3-point shooter spacer outside of Bees.
Like yeah.
How would that hamper you? Or
well, I mean, it would. We would either extend Bees or Chris's minutes. Well, we have to keep shooting on the floor. But AJ's been not only good offensively, I think he's been very good defensively. I think he's been one of our guard rebounders as well. So yeah, I mean, obviously we would love him to play. He looked good today. I mean, he went through half of the practice, but he couldn't. We didn't want him to finish. We know we play on Sunday, and I prefer him playing Sunday over today, I guess is the way I would phrase that.
But just to clarify, with Lillard, then, as far as barring any setbacks or something, we should be good to go.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, for sure. Everybody, but that's all hope.
When you're talking about side-to-side action,
yeah.
Without Giannis, typically Giannis can be the role man and get that side-to-side action. How big of a role will Brook play?
Brook and Bobby will play a big role in that. We just can't get stuck, That's even with Giannis. When we get stuck, we have proven over years that we're not great offensively. But when that ball is not there and we move it there and we get to the second side or get to the second action, maybe even a better way of saying that, we've proven we're really good. And so we have to do that.
I know Miles can make enough threes to force Brook to come out.
Yeah.
So aside from that, though, like when there were a couple times you mentioned Brook sometimes would maybe back up too much.
Yeah.
How important is it for him, and especially Tyrese with these floaters, to come all the way up, and even if it's not Giannis, to trust who's behind him? Yeah,
we have him. We think we've worked on the spots we want him in. He'll do that. We've worked on when he's in those spots what the weak side defense has to do to cover up for that. So Brook is tough because you want him near the basket. You want him protecting the basket, but if he's so far back, the league's always in front of the coverage. For about a year, your coverage is in front, and then the players go home all summer and they work on snaking and they work on all the things to go up against a drop guy. When you put a big that can shoot, that increases that space for them, and Miles Turner is a guy that can shoot the ball. So we have to have a coverage for that as well.
When Giannis hasn't been out there, Bobby's played very well.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to come up.
Yeah.
How was it nice to have him not necessarily feel the role Giannis doing the same way that he's doing?
Bobby's been so valuable for our team. He was our go-to guy off the bench. Now he's starting. And, it's really important not only that we play him and play him the same way with the starters. We still wanted him to be aggressive. I thought the first game he did that when he started, and then he had 2 games where we were kind of watching Dame and Chris. We want to still feature Bobby all the time. We want him to stay aggressive. And then from there, it's really substitution patterns are huge because we want Bobby out and back in with the second group again. So he's probably got the most difficult role in doing all that for sure.
Post isolation is typically super efficient, but you guys go to Bobby on that post
regularly.
What is kind of giving you the confidence that can be a good play for you guys?
Well, it's efficient when you have a post player. I had Joel last year. It was a very efficient play. Bobby's a very efficient, when he catches it in his right spot, player on the post. And so for us, we have Giannis, who they trap more, Bobby, who can score. It's always a great play to stop a run. Team gets on a run, go through it down there, slow the other team down, pound them, and get something out of it. It also facilitates ball movement because, especially if they're trapping, we would do it with Giannis just to get the trap so we can get the ball moving again. So you can use the post in a lot of ways.
Doc, the NBA awards are released on Sunday, but a lot of people have been leaking their ballots right now, and it's for all NBA.
Well, why would they do that?
And it's a lot of the first team is some form of, SGA, Jalen, Jason, Luka, Joker. In that regards, given that Giannis just posted the first 30-10 on 60% shooting in NBA history, did we see one of the great underappreciated seasons?
Yeah, he's Groundhog's Day, He really is. I said it at the beginning. He does the same thing every year, and each year it gets a little bit better, but people stop seeing it. It's just he's so good and consistent that from a voter standpoint, it becomes bad. Well, he did that last year. That's basically what they're saying. Joker looks like will win the MVP. I don't know that, but you can already feel the voter fatigue. It just happens. That's what happens with greatness. Michael should have won 8 MVPs in a row or whatever it was. I don't know, but they decided, well, we don't want to vote for Michael again. And that's what happens with Giannis. So we know he's one of the top 5 players in the league. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
When you got here, you talked a lot about pacing right away, and to try to learn what you mean by pacing.
Yeah.
Is the Boston game at home here, that's kind of tough because it was such a dominant game, but is that one of the perfect examples?
That Oklahoma was another one because we played fast, but we played intentional as well. When we did get in the half court, we didn't stop moving. We didn't get stuck. Our pacing has been great. Before I got here last year on misses, we've never had a problem with that, especially when Giannis is on the floor. Now, when Giannis is off the floor, I thought we've struggled over the years in pacing. Our problem comes on makes, and it's always been that. And we have to be just as efficient on makes that we are on misses. And for us to have a clear vision of what we're trying to do and do it with pace and consistency, I think that's the key for us.
You mentioned how much work Chris and Bob were getting earlier in the week.
Yeah.
All the reps. Did they kind of appreciate how the game out there?
Yeah, they did, especially Chris. I think Chris was very happy to see Dame because today Dame got a lot of plays his way, and he felt that for sure. But we need to work on it.